As many of us have suspected, it feels like Digimon Liberator is finally reaching its conclusion, with this week's chapter feeling very, very climactic and teasing towards what seems to be the resolution. And with EX11 Dawn of Liberator coming out on February 13th, that definitely feels like it's putting a pin in Liberator as a project. But if Digimon Liberator's ending, what's next for the TCG? We do have Digimon Alysion coming, don't we? Join me on today's video as I talk about Digimon Liberator, the brand new level 7 Digimon for the main character, which didn't debut in the comic but did debut in the card game already, and what all this is going to mean for the future of Digimon, and specifically Digimon Alysion. What is up, digital companions? My name is Karn EX and welcome back to another video. And if it's not welcome back, of course subscribe, join the 100,000, you know? This many people aren't subscribed still. If you're watching the videos, like the sub feed is all weird now anyway, but it can't hurt, you know? And yes, Digimon Liberator had its latest chapter this week. And honestly, I was a little surprised that we did not see Shoto's Terromon rehatch from its egg and assume it's level 7. With the next comic chapter not happening until February 12th, the day before the release of EX11 Dawn of Liberator. However, then during a card battle video, at the end Yuki revealed Vortextramon, the brand new level 7 for Terramon's evolution line. As a reminder, the level 7s in Digimon Liberator don't work quite the same as you might expect for things like Omnimon or other level 7s or Ultra or Mega Plus level Digimon. They're more like parallel Megas, acting in tandem in this instance with a Digimon like Zephagamon, than necessarily a step up one further from the level 6 or Mega. It does have some interesting lore additions though. First of all, it's a bird dragon Digimon like the others in the line, and also a Vortex Warrior. And this is true of Grand Galemon and Zephagamon. And it's kind of interesting that Vortex Warriors is being used here, because initially that was just the group that Medieval Gallantmon belonged to, which is kind of Shoto's other partner, the mega of his Muchomon. And Vortextramon also continues the tradition that Zephagamon set of tying the Vortex Warriors back into the lore established by Medieval Gallantmon. He was the leader of the Vortex Warriors, and now that more Vortex Warriors exist, there's still that intrinsic connection to Witchelney, the world of magical witches. Another Bandai V-Pet from the 90s, which basically a lot of its lore has now been folded into Digimon lore. Digimon like Wizardmon, for example, were originally from the world of magical witches. I must admit, a little bit disappointed to see this once again be quote-unquote spoiled by the TCG reveals. I think it's cool that we get a little insight into what these Digimon are going to look like, but for example, with Ex Machinamon, we didn't see Ex Machinamon until it showed up in the comic. Whereas now, obviously because Dawn of Liberator is coming out on February 13th, and the next comic chapter, probably where Vortextramon will show up, is the day before on February 12th, you kind of want to show your big secret rares and stuff like that, and parallel arts. I've actually got a really cool matching parallel of Ex Machinamon and Vortextramon squaring up with Machinamon and Terramon on the cards. But it's always a little bit disappointing to me that the piece of media that's supposed to show off these Digimon first and foremost, and kind of in their best way they can, sort of gets spoiled by the card game before we could have the impactful moment that we all knew was going to happen of Shoto's Terramon or Grand Galemon becoming Vortextramon. That could actually potentially indicate that we have had some delays to the end of Digimon Liberator, perhaps even Digimon Liberator supposing to end this week with a prologue in 2 weeks' time around when Dawn of Liberator happens. That title though, Dawn of Liberator, it's not Dusk of Liberator, End of Liberator, it's the Dawn of Liberator, which is positive. It indicates that yes, our heroes are going to win, and that maybe we could have future outings from the Liberator cast. Because let's not forget, the unique emblems, the reason these level 7 Digimon exist, have not all been used for a level 7. We now have Shoto getting his Terromon Ultra with his unique emblem. Owen Dreadnought and Elizamon have had theirs in Starakomon, Violet and Ghostmon in Dulahamon, Close and Sonorizamon in Magnetic Dramon, Arisa and Shumon in Nyabutmon, and Yao and Sangomon in Ariamon. Technically, that means if they did want to explore it going forward, none of the Digimon from the novel side of Liberator have had level 7s. Yuki and Impmon haven't had one, and Yuki is like the VTuber that shows off Digimon cards. I'm really surprised that hasn't happened yet. Maybe next time. Altia and Espimon, Mirai and Hanimon, Suzune and Frigimon, Winner and Funbeamon, and of course Ryutaro Williams and Tyrannomon or Dinomon ending up. These are all potential Digimon that could get level 7s, but it feels like Digimon Liberator is ending. The novel has wrapped up. We're not getting a new novel chapter. Doesn't seem like they're hinting at a new tips or columns chapter. They're just going to continue the comic side transpired on February 12th, which might be the last one, though I can see there being one or two more. We know Digimon Con is at the end of March. And as I said in a couple of videos now, we do see Gemmon prominently in the art, but no Terromon. It does also feel in the latest chapters that they brought everything over from the novel side into the comic side. All of the novel characters are showing up in the comic at the same time. They're bringing through like Digimon in this huge tableau of amazing Digimon. I like seeing Sharkmon there, and even Betsumon kind of looking cool for the first time ever. So it almost feels like they've merged the novel with the comic to kind of end the story. But like I say, we've got all these unique emblems which we haven't seen level 7s for. And with that Gemmon tease and no Terromon at Digimon Con 2026's art, I do truly believe that Digimon Alysion releases soon, kinda. I don't think I'm talking next month, but I do absolutely believe Digimon Alysion is launching this year. I have no doubt in my mind. Could be as soon as March for Digimon Con, but I wouldn't stake my claim on that just yet. The evidence is overwhelming. Digimon Liberator is wrapping up. I think even if it somehow gets another chapter, this is kind of the end of Digimon Liberator as we know it, and we have already got confirmation that a sort of dark, evil version of Shoto and his Terromon line are in Digimon Alysion. We know Digimon Alysion takes place in the same world of Liberator. It's also very likely that Alysion Digimon, while obviously having cards in Alysion itself, you've seen versions of them that look like real cards, meaning they will eventually get printed and we can use them in contemporary play, even though Digimon Alysion's meta is not concurrent currently with the mainline TCG. This also means then that the world of Liberator is not over. The dawn of Liberator, the dawn of Lacuna, is the world that we're going to enter in Digimon Alysion. The world saved by Shoto and the gang. What this means for Shoto having an evil doppelganger, well, I guess we'll find out. Did Unchained make this? Is this actually Shoto? I don't know. But this means that we can have a ton of characters from Digimon Liberator show up in Digimon Alysion. This is where I think it's very likely that Yuki and her Impmon will get a new level 7. Maybe Ryutaro Williams and his Dynamon will get a new level 7. Meaning they don't have to cram a bunch of new characters into Alysion, although of course we already have a good staple of characters, including what I think may end up being a new evolution line for Herismon, or at least a new level 7. Digimon is getting better at this syncing up and timing of products, and I know it feels like it's been very quiet on the Digimon Alysion front, quite a while since the closed beta, but I think that's actually a good thing. They put out a survey to everyone that played Digimon Alysion asking for our thoughts, and many of us gave them. They then acknowledged these thoughts and put out posts talking about the things they noticed overwhelmingly. I think it's quite likely that Digimon Liberator was slightly extended to account for this, maybe adding a couple of comic chapters here and there, which is why there is now no novel or even tips or anything that seem to be coming out, it's just the comic. Though it's also quite likely this was always the intended thing that was going to happen, with Liberator ending sometime in February, either on February 12th with the next one or a couple of weeks after that, but Digimon Alysion has shifted slightly more towards maybe March, April, or even May, but I think that's honestly a good thing. While yes, their communication could be better, the Digimon Alysion account has been pretty transparent about the fact that they are putting the demo, the closed beta basically, at a lot of events, so if you want to go check it out, that was a way to do it. It hasn't been radio silence, more just not talking about what's going on, which is very Bandai. Basically every Digimon product, if we talk about Digimon Story Time Stranger for example, we knew that game was in production for years, but they didn't actually show it off until it was basically done. I think that's the same thing for Alysion. Closed beta, get an idea of what the fan base is feeling, take all of those things, incorporate them, which is great. You want them to listen. We want longevity for this mobile game, because let's face it, a lot of Digimon mobile games do not last very long. RIP Digimon source code in China didn't even last a year. So it's good, I think, that there has been an extended development time after the closed beta for Alysion. It indicates to me that they're taking it very seriously and trying to make a really good product. But I do think the end of Digimon Liberator makes it clear to us that we are looking at the next step of the Digimon franchise being Digimon Alysion, and this is our product that is going to have a story driving forward the Digimon card game, adding all of these new tamers, cards like Gemmon with its potentially many-colored evolutions into the TCG, while also still respecting the world of Digimon Liberator. Digimon Liberator is not being forgotten, which is kind of incredible. In many ways, Digimon Alysion is being set up to be the Digimon Adventure 02 of Digimon Liberator, the Digimon TCG. We already know Shoto and Terramon are in there, admittedly in evil forms. How cool would it be to see all of these characters show up in future? Maybe the real Shoto shows up with his Vortextramon. So many possibilities. And like I say, I do really want to see all of the novel side unique emblems trigger new level 7s, and Alysion's absolutely the place to do that. And the cool thing about Liberator is the website exists in perpetuity. Nothing's stopping them making more Liberator chapters to go alongside Alysion. Maybe Liberator as a whole kind of becomes the companion piece to Alysion. Much like the novel was the companion piece to the webcomic, now the webcomic and novel could be a companion to Alysion. Either way, we are at this point about 2 months, maybe slightly less, away from Digimon Con. As of time of publishing, Digimon Con is actually next month. They did say late March, so I think 6 to 8 weeks away, and I'm really excited to see what they're going to show. show us. I don't think we're going to get a ton besides Digimon Alysion and existing properties this year, though I would be very, very happy to see a sequel or DLC announced for Digimon Story Time Stranger. However, something really key to bear in mind is that 2027, next year, is the 30th anniversary of Digimon as a franchise. And looking already at what we've had for like the 25th anniversary for the anime, with Digimon Beat Break kind of surging forward, and the 25th anniversary of Digimon as a whole, it's been pretty great. So I'm actually kind of happy if we do have a slower year this year. And by slower year, I'm talking about a thriving TCG, Digimon Alysion coming out, which will be a brand new mobile game with a brand new story to play through, plus it's an entire TCG client, so we can play Digimon card game online whenever we want in our phones. At least one more episode of DLC for Digimon Story Time Stranger that's already confirmed, God knows what else, and the whole new anime Beat Break airing through until like at least September. It's hard to be mad at 2026, even if we don't get anything else announced. And then we're going to be heading into the 30th year of Digimon. Anyway, that's it, my little update on Digimon Liberator and what I think it means for the future of the franchise, Digimon Alysion, and what to expect this year. There are going to be more news videos coming up, of course. I can't really put this into its own video because it's so brief, but they did just announce the new Digimon Real Data collection, with the first one being specifically the Tyrannomon that was featured on the package of the original LCD toy, Digital Monster version 1. This feels like a spiritual successor to the Dynamotion line, taking an official piece of Digimon art and translating it very faithfully into a figure. Pre-orders for those opened on the 30th, Friday, so check any places that you'd normally use Digimon, not sponsored, but Zen and TCG is probably going to have these too. And of course there are other websites you can use if you are interested in these figures. I couldn't make a whole video about that, but you know, it looks interesting, I guess. More information dropped while I was editing the video, but it is going to be 16 by 16 by 17 centimeters, so it's a substantially large figure, about the same size as those Dynamotion figures, and it's 15,400 yen, which is like 72 pounds, or about $100. This one's not for me, gang, but if it's for you, congratulations. Let me know in the comments down below what you're most looking forward to in Digimon this year and next year. I think for me it's definitely Digimon Alysion, but Digimon Beat Break has been so good. I am planning on doing some more Digimon Beat Break coverage probably next time we get a new evolution, but it might happen sooner. And I've got videos talking about the X antibody coming up. Of course, we've got the DLC probably releasing this month, although it could be next month. Part of me does think that they want to get that last episode for Time Stranger out before Digimon Con, kind of make the slate fresh going forward, same with ending Digimon Liberator before Digimon Con. But anyway, thanks to my sovereign ZDK14, Chaotic Prophet, Lupus Lichlord, and Jeremy Bavino over on patreon.com/Karn EX, and everyone else who supports me there too, as well as my YouTube channel members here on YouTube. I appreciate you all so goddamn much, and I'll see you next time when we go digital. Bye bye.